this time last year, I was in Los Angeles for the Academy Awards, didn't get in the theater, but I saw some stuff. And the whole Hollywood is full of BS. Kind of true. This is just an anecdotal story of what happens behind the scenes, because Hollywood is not going to tell you the actual process of how things get done. We see the host on the stage, everybody is all dolled up, they've done the red carpet, and the awards start. People forget, but the Academy Awards last year didn't start on time, and there was a reason as to why that was. It had nothing to do with any technical glitches, but the talent did get delayed. And the thing is, I wish I was allowed to take photos or video footage of why that was. I believe Jimmy Kimmel, even in his introductory speech, said, "We were a little delayed getting here today." There is a reason as to why. It's no secret that Hollywood Boulevard is gated up. They move the homeless out for a couple of days while they get set up. There are people standing by for the limos to come in and let these celebrities out. But the reason for the delay last year was that there were quite a number of protest groups that were around Hollywood Boulevard. To my recollection, there were about 3. There was the pro-Palestine movement. That was one. The second was a religious Christian group. There was also people that were anti-Epstein, anti-pedo, you know. So these 3 groups were going around with MAGA horns, with flags, and it was getting pretty tense. It got to the point where riot police just kept telling us to keep moving. I wanted to take some footage, but they're like, no, let's keep it going, because at a point, these 3 groups were converging. One group was going this way, another group was going that way, and another group was going this way. All yelling, all on mega horns. Violence hadn't really occurred, at least up until that point. I'm not really sure if violence did commence, but at a point, the riot police were starting to tighten their straps, making sure everything was secure, because it looked like a brouhaha was about to happen. To the point where they literally had us go into the alley that had barbed wire so that regular pedestrians who were just walking through could be safe. All of this was happening around 3-4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I had just come from Toronto the day before, so my body was still acclimated to Eastern Standard Time, so to me it felt like 7 p.m. Imagine going into an alleyway in Hollywood Boulevard as the safe route. There was a point where I saw, it looked like a Hummer SUV that had stopped because they were going to let out the celebrities because they were going to walk through. They saw these groups converging, and I don't know who this influencer was. She looked familiar. To this day, I still don't know who it was. She had black hair, Caucasian, but I recognized her, and she looked at, we probably met eyes for like maybe half a second. She looked and saw these groups converging near them, because at a point, I think someone from the anti-establishment group saw the door opening at the corner of their eye, and they were charging towards the SUV, which caused this influencer to slam the door of the SUV, and all you could hear was a woman's voice going, "Go, go, 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 go!" What we were noticing was that there were a bunch of limos circling around Hollywood Boulevard so that the riot police get the crowds in order, in line. I'm not gonna lie, things got a little hairy in that moment. Then the celebrities were able to go on the red carpet, do the interviews, and then Jimmy Kimmel comes up and says, well, you know, we were a little delayed coming in. That was the reason why everything got delayed. I don't really know what happened with those groups. I don't know if any arrests were made. We didn't stay long enough to see. We ended up spending the day away from Hollywood Boulevard. It just got too crazy, too hectic, and we ended up seeing news reports on the Oscars later that night, and no mention about any of the riot police, the crowd being sent one direction, all these groups that were converging and having the riot police ready for battle. And there was no mention of that. So that was kind of interesting. But it also goes to show that Hollywood sugarcoats a lot. Think about that one little sentence. We were a little delayed coming in. And the general public has no idea any of this happened. It's food for thought. Food for thought.